tonight. They did what they want to do, turn us over, contest shots, make it difficult. But I think if we take care of the ball and we care about every possession like we should, it may be a different outcome. That's not the case. So all of the ifs can stay where they are.
Is the key to beating this team just keeping them out of transition?
And not turning the ball over. It's not about beating that team. It's about us winning against anybody. Whenever we get shots on goal, when we keep our turnovers down, we can hang. We can beat anybody.
You're a guy that can get it shot whenever you want. As you said, is this a game where Steph's struggling, where you would probably want her to be a bit more aggressive offensively with your shot?
Maybe, maybe not. My thing is I'm going to make the right play majority of the time, probably like 9 out of 10 times. So if I get in there and draw help, I'm going to kick it to the open guy. But I'm not going to say that anybody's scoring was the reason that we did not win this game. I'm going to stick to turnovers. We had 20 of them. It's going to be hard to win in any basketball game if you got 20 turnovers.
What stood out about the way that they did guard Steph tonight, though?
They did a good job of whatever you want to call it.
What do you call it?
I don't even know. I've never seen an individual get fouled more than he gets fouled. To me, I think it's astounding. But it's crazy to say, but he's used to it. It's been happening to him his whole career, and he's found a way through it, around it, under it, whatever you want to call it. That's tough.
The fouling, you mean not just tonight, you mean since you've been here?
I mean, yeah, I've seen it since I've been here, but I don't know how many years he got. What do you got, 16? I'm pretty sure it's been happening for 16 straight years. I get to see it, and it really angers me that he's on my team and he gets hacked like that.
Post game, you see JTA Mully. Don't take notes from Mully on that yeehaw, all right? Check out the standings. Warriors had an opportunity to move up to 4th place in the Western Conference with the Denver loss. However, the Warriors lose to Houston. So now look at this 4-way tie, 5-way tie.
Column.
Denver, the Clippers, the Warriors, Minnesota, and Memphis, all with 32 losses apiece. But the most important part is the Warriors are still out of that box. Boy, it's getting dicey.
Spooky.
It's getting spooky out here. You want that week off. And, of course, the Warriors end the season right here at Chase Center against the L.A. Clippers. So the week ahead for the Warriors, a back-to-back against Phoenix and San Antonio. They play Portland Friday night. Then end the season against the Clippers, who's playing as well as anybody right now, Fezzi.
I mean, this is a huge game for the Warriors. Obviously, this is not the showing that you wanted. But what you thought, or what I think for the Warriors, if you go for the last 5 games, you go 4-1, you're up there in the standings, you staying out of the box. So this is a loss, but we've also seen the Warriors bounce back from some losses. But, man, there's some great games coming up ahead, Bonte. Every game is the best game of the year right now. And for the Warriors, it's like a playoff atmosphere, playoffs before the playoffs, JTA.
Absolutely, and they get to play the Clippers, whom they're tied with, so it gives them an opportunity to create some separation in that tiebreaker.
Yeah, Bonte always talk about the loss column, all those teams with 32 losses, and the Warriors have the tiebreaker over Memphis and Minnesota.
Correct.
But not the Clippers in Denver, correct? So they got to finish a game above the Clippers. So as of now, if I had to forecast, I'd say it's going to be 5-6 Clippers and Warriors, depending on how they finish, obviously. So I think they should finish out of that box, which would be important to get that week off.
So are you more worried about this? Not worried, I guess isn't the word, but for the Warriors, is it more about the matchup, the seeding? Does it matter if they have home court advantage in the first round?
I think first, the primary focus is to make sure you're not in the playing situation and then take it from there. I don't think it really matters if it's 5 or 6. Obviously, if they can get to 4, that would be ideal. But having that week off and then prepare for whoever that first-round opponent is paramount in my mind.
Who's struggling there with these teams tied with 32 losses? Denver's lost a couple games. They've been struggling down the stretch. The Clippers have been playing well, kind of quietly. Minnesota's trying to surge here. Who's the team that's most dangerous right now with those 5 teams with 32 losses?
Who's the team that's most dangerous of all those teams? I think, the Warriors, you got to look at the record.
All right.
The Warriors right now are playing the best basketball, most consistent basketball. They're now, 8-2? Still 8-2? or 7-3 of the last 10. So that's the one that everybody's watching. But you look at the Denver Nuggets, you look at the Lakers with LeBron. I would never bet against LeBron when the playoffs come around. I've seen that firsthand.
I agree, and I say the same thing about Steph Curry, right? Like I said, you got Steph Curry, a guy who's been there year after year after year, has so much experience, killer. And again, I don't expect Steph Curry to score 3 points in a basketball game. In a basketball game again. Like, this was an anomaly. So I think the Warriors are the hottest team in that group right now, but then behind them, you can never count Jokic out either.
Right.
Like, that guy's incredible. So I don't know.
Kawhi and James Harden and Zubac's
The
down
West
there.
is stacked.
They're playing well, man.
Denver's
you
been
want us to
playing without
say?
Jamal Murray.
No doubt.
My next was the Clippers. Kawhi just played a back-to-back. So watch out.
That is scary.
When does Jamal Murray come back? Do we know?
We don't know yet,
Okay.
but you know his game goes to another level in the playoffs.
Absolutely.
That's the difference for the Denver Nuggets.
That's it right
Absolutely.
there, man. This is going to be an exciting week in the NBA here. 5 teams tight with 32 losses. See, baby, look at that. Steph Curry still can find some happiness in his game. Happiness in his night. He'll bounce back as we take blowing out South Carolina and Don Staley. JTA, what a performance UConn put on today.
That was an incredible performance. I didn't expect the game to go that way. Obviously, Don Staley's team is very well coached. They've been there year after year, but then it's UConn and Gino. You know, Gino did an interview after the previous game, and Scott Van Pelt, he was doing an interview with Scott Van Pelt, and there was underdog and UConn in the same sentence. He's like, I can't get over that. But it makes sense. It's Gino and UConn. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
It's like, they're there every year. They're consistent, and it shows. He came to the national championship game as a number 2 seed and dominated.
Domination comes on the defensive end as well as the offensive end, but they hold South Carolina to 59 points. I mean, you can't say much more about that. You know, Gino Auriemma should have a whole room. This is his 12th national championship. He's been doing this. Congratulations to Paige Buchers, AZ Fudd, who's Steph Curry's athlete. He signed her with Under Armour, and all the way down the line. UConn has been doing this for a long time, and that was really incredible to watch.
Yeah, domination, much like the old John Wooden UCLA days, is what UConn women's got going. And like the Fezzi just mentioned, you know, the first time I saw AZ Fudd was at Steph's camp. The other person I saw that same session, the Thompson twins. And actually, the first time I saw Amen Thompson play, it was in a pickup game, and he was trying to guard Steph Curry. It was about 3-4 years ago, I think.
Wow.
It's amazing. So, yeah, Steph Curry's influence getting into the women's game, and maybe he's developing the young guys too much.
Giving him too much there.
Too much education. Too much information.
Amen Thompson was everywhere tonight.
Wait till you retire to give away the sauce?
Time now for our River Rock Daily Jackpot, the Chica Series here. Fezzi, you know about this, the Chica Series celebration. Warriors Basketball Academy. Explain what was going on here.
Well, Bonte, you know, the Golden State Warriors are all about being in the community, and this was a clinic for young Latina women where they got to learn basketball as a way to learn about leadership skills, learn that moving your body is really important for not just your physical health, but also your mental health as well. I sat on the panel with 3 other ladies, one lady that works for the NBC Sports Bay Area, another that works for Telemundo, and the third works for the Warriors as a VP. And so these are the ladies that the young ladies got to learn from people that look like them. And it was really important in our community for us to share these information, for us to have these conversations. And I was just really honored to be there to moderate that panel.